Well, the idea came to me in around 2010, and at the time I was asking a lot of questions about my own perception, and I was trying to understand and make sense of what I was experiencing through sounds and visually in the world around me. So I guess these questions brought me to the attention of a documentary called The Colours of Infinity. And this introduced me to the idea of fractals and the Mandelbrot set, which in summary is a mathematical equation that can describe visually the construction and generation of shapes that we see everywhere in nature. But the interesting thing is that the Mandelbrot equation is infinite and proves that organic and natural things are theoretically made up from copies and regenerations of itself. For example, a tree has a branch, and then a branch grows from that branch, and then a branch grows from that branch, and then so on and so on. Now, the idea that this can be explained through a simple set of rules and that it is potentially programmed into everything definitely provided some kind of enlightenment to what I was thinking at the time. The discovery of this equation was by a mathematician named Benoit Mandelbrot. And within the documentary, the author, Arthur C. Clarke, describes the equation as a Mandelbrot Zoo. And as soon as I heard this, I knew that this would be the name of the album. When I started the project, I'd already written 3 or 4 songs, which had all come to me very organically. So I decided to carry on writing to see where it goes. A lot of the writing of the basic music came intuitively to me, so from following one note or one chord, moving into another, and then into another and another, until a sequence was made that holistically sounded complete. It became obvious that there were several themes that I was writing about across different songs, both lyrically and musically. And the 4 symbols represent 4 themes. The themes of perception, mortality, regeneration, and transportation. But these themes are abstract concepts, and they can most definitely be interpreted in different ways. So I recorded most of the album in my home studio, and it took around 3 years to complete. I was funding and producing the album myself, so I'd save up money to buy new equipment or pay some musicians, and then I'd have to work again to save up the money to carry on recording. So this happened over a period of 3 years. The basic rhythm tracks of the album were recorded on this Roland 24-track recorder, and as you can see, it's seen better days, but it still works. I mean, it's had beer spill on it, had tea spill on it, it's been dropped several times, and it even once fell out the back of a speeding car, but you know, it still works. And the reason I chose to record on this was because my computer at the time in my studio only had 2 tracks, simultaneous recording, and this has 8. So I was able to record the drums, the bass, and the rhythm guitar at once. And then I moved on to record everything else as I upgraded my studio. But this really laid down the foundation of the album throughout every track. I got a lot of musicians to play on the album to build up the textures and to help create an almost orchestral and symphonic palette. So you can hear strings, brass, woodwind, percussion, choirs, opera singers, and even a church organ. And this is as well as the normal band setup of guitars, bass, drums and vocals. I wanted to find a way to connect some of the songs on the album together, and it made sense to create pathways to bridge from one song to the next. So I recorded sounds on location, And then I went back to the studio to design soundscapes. So the soundscapes are designed to create a living and breathing world that exists within the music and the album. Well, the inspiration for the songs are based around my personal experience, from places I've been, dreams that I've had, and stories that I've imagined. So I took a lot of influence as well from poetry, movies, and the natural world around me. The artwork is based on a mandala, and a mandala acts as a visual aid to meditation. And you can see the 4 symbols representing the album's themes inside it. So I roughly designed the layout of the mandala and then gave it to my friend, who is a paper artist and creates beautiful designs and cuts them by hand. So I wanted the artwork to have this handcrafted human feel to it, using organic textures to go along with the album's self-made recording process. To go along with the main artwork, I started shooting Super 8 footage. I really appreciate the medium of film and the textures and the granularity that shooting on film offers. I was filming while I was recording the soundscapes in the different locations, and it really helped me to visualize the album. And I guess it gave me different perspectives, which I definitely took a lot of inspiration from during the recording process.